It's time to grab your love letter, so let's get started and let's see what the Word has to say to us today. We have a fake Star Wars, and we have a real Star Wars. So here is some questions and answers I hope you enjoy. Should we make a foundation for our life? Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rains descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And every one that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened to a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rains descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell. A great was the fall of it. So what is the foundation? Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of the spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ. Is the foundation salvation? The Lord liveth, and blessed be my rock, and exalted to be the God of the rock of my salvation. As God viewed his creation, what did he conclude? And God saw everything that he made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. What happened in heaven? And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. What was the result of this war? And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out unto the earth, and the angels were cast out with him. What was the cause of Lucifer's fall from heaven? How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, the son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which weakened the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. What was Lucifer's original position in heaven? Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord God, Thou sealest up the sun full of wisdom, and perfect in beauty. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, the topaz, and the diamond, the pearl, the oxen, and the jasper, and the sapphire, and the emerald, and the carbuncle, and the gold, the workmanship of thy tabrets, and of the pipes that was prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created. Thou art the anointed cherubim that covereth, and I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stone of fire. Lamentation, grief, mourning, wailing, cries of sorrow. What two characteristics, traits, contribute to Lucifer's fall. Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee. By the multitude of thy merchandise they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of God, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherubim, from the midst of the stone of fire. Thy heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground, and I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. What did God tell Lucifer? Remember this, and show yourself men, bringing it again to mind, O you transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient time, the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure, calling a ravished bird from the east, the men that execute my counsel from a far country. Yea, I have spoken it. I will also bring it to pass. I have pursued it, and I will also do it. Why did he create Lucifer if he knew in advance that he would rebel? Consider this. And we have known and believed the love that God hath to us. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Could Lucifer be drawn to God? The Lord had appeared of old unto me, saying, Yea, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness have I drawn thee. Did Lucifer love God? Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of God commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto a faithful Creator. Did Lucifer have free will like us? And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, I will serve the Lord. Can a risk turn into reality? Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee. How did Lucifer come to have his angels? Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and obeyed not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar, and the father of it. Think about this. Why didn't God deal with rebellion immediately, and nip it in the bud, before it got out of hand? If God had banished him from heaven, or blotted him from existence, what might the rest of the angels have thought? At least two things. Number one, Lucifer was right, who knew something about God that God didn't want known, so God is silencing him. 2. If we didn't toe the line, Lucifer's fate could become our fate, so the angels would still serve God, but now their motive of love would be mixed with a good dose of fear. What does God tell us about fear? There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. So love casts out fear. What restrictions did God place on Adam and Eve? And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostril the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayst freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. So God is proving he is right, not Lucifer. What benefit does the serpent suggest that Eve will enjoy by disobedience? Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, You shall not surely die, for God knoweth that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as God, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eye, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. You never win a debate with Satan. Casting doubt on God's credibility makes disobedience attractive, suggests that there will be gain or profit in distrusting God. In what way do Adam and Eve react to God's presence? And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord amongst the trees of the garden. Are Adam and Eve willing to be responsible for their action? And the Lord God called Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman who thou givest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. What will be the final fate of Satan, the author of sin? Thou hast defiled thy sanctuary by the multitude of thy iniquity, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee, it shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all them that behold thee. All they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee. Thou shalt be a whore, and never shalt thou be any more.